All right, thank you for tuning in for this as yet unnamed series of videos that may only be one video. I don't even remember the last time I made a video.
Wide open but overthrown is Jennings. And Aaron Rodgers missed one there.
I've been so busy trying to log on to the Obamacare website. It's a time-consuming thing where you try to log on to a website that's going to destroy the country. Big changes, I think, are in store for the Vikings. What should happen? Well, let's start at the top. Zygi Wilf should be arrested for being a crooked, thieving, lying, racketeering weasel, thrown in jail, and subjected to the Norm Macdonald treatment in dirty work.
We're just going to be left here to rot.
Yeah, well, I'm not worried about the rotting right now. I'm worried about something else.
Rick Spielman, the Vikings, I don't know if he's the general manager. He makes all the personnel decisions. He should be fired. Leslie Frazier should be sent to that hospital from the movie Awakenings. Christian Ponder. Clearly, Christian Ponder should be sent to Doc Emmett Brown's house where he can be placed in the DeLorean time machine, sent back to 1993 when he was 5 years old. And that was the moment when David Ponder, his dad, who was a former standout defensive lineman at Florida State, the same school where Christian Ponder went on to be a slightly above average college quarterback. That's when his dad handed him a football and said, "Son, let's play catch." The young Ponder, sensing pressure from his father, rolled out to the right rather than stepping up in the pocket, threw across his body towards the broad side of the family barn, which he missed. The ball landed with a splat in the pig pen, where farmhand Bill Musgrave was busy shoveling pig poop into a bucket labeled future offensive plays. It's at this pivotal moment that the adult Ponder can step between the young Ponder and his dad and say, no, 5-year-old version of myself, you will never touch a football. And that way the young Ponder, with his future irrevocably altered, goes on to become a slightly above average pizza delivery man for Papa John's. Although he eventually loses his job when his boss realizes that he always gets lost when delivering a pizza to anyone who once played wide receiver.
The other key thing that has to happen is Adrian Peterson has to be traded. He should have been traded 4 years ago because the Vikings need a quarterback, not a running back. To give you an idea of the relative value of a running back versus a quarterback, let's look at the last two NFL MVPs. 2011 MVP, Mrs. Ryan Braun. Mrs. Ryan Braun misses half the season, and Green Bay goes 2-5-1. Mrs. Ryan Braun comes back, they win and make the playoffs. 2012 NFL MVP, Adrian Peterson, misses 2 games in 2013. A horrible Vikings team goes 2-0 in those 2 games, and they score 48 points in one of them. So the Vikings are actually better without Adrian Peterson, because then you're not concerned with establishing the run, which is a stupid thing to do.
Okay, other quick hits. They need to let Jared Allen walk, and I would say on his way out, give him $10 for every meaningful sack he's gotten in the last 4 years. Deport Chris Cook. Put Sid Hartman in hospice. You hire a good GM. He will hire a good coach who will bring in a good franchise quarterback. Problem solved. Okay? Good coach plus good franchise quarterback equals playoffs 9 out of every 10 years. If we're thinking about potential coaches, I would definitely go with Bill O'Brien from Penn State.
Do it live!
I mean, I would love to have any guy who would do this to Tom Brady.
This went on for a while. O'Brien comes back for a little bit more. Coaches are trying. Bill Belichick finally has to come over and say, calm down, guys.
Peter King.
Tom Brady. I think it's safe to say Tom Brady.
He must have been like peeing his pants when he saw that. He was so angry. What will happen to the Vikings? What's really going to happen? Okay, we're out of fantasy land.
How about fantasy land?
Well, Zygi Wilf will get that new palace built, and he'll sell the team for a profit of a few $100 million immediately. That profit coming straight from the Minnesota taxpayers. The Vikings will then be purchased by Timberwolves owner Glenn Taylor, and he's going to immediately hire Kevin McHale as director of football operations. Taylor will soon be forced to sell the team when it's revealed that he's brokered a secret under-the-table deal to bring former talentless Vikings fullback/tight end and current shift supervisor at the St. Cloud White Castle, Jim Kleinsasser, out of retirement. Bidding war ensues to purchase the Vikings at a bargain price from the disgraced Glenn Taylor. Red McCombs and Tom Clancy's corpse both make strong bids, as does Minnesota Governor Mark Dayton. Dayton bows out when he realizes that Mommy and Daddy left him enough money to buy a Senate seat and the governorship, but not enough money to buy a NFL team from a racketeering weasel.
Higher property taxes for people.
Red McCombs actually almost locks up the deal, but he insists on one final stipulation, that he be allowed to continue owning and controlling the Vikings after he dies. New NFL Commissioner Peter King nixes the deal, saying the NFL does not allow its franchises to be operated from the deepest depths of hell, which is where Red McCombs will certainly be after he dies. Parentheses, along with Zygi Wilf. Peter King actually dies tragically only days later. He's found nude in a hotel room, hanging from a noose fashioned out of a Tom Brady jersey, with a series of Peyton Manning commercials playing on a continuous loop on his iPad, which has a pink case.
Tom Brady, I think it's safe to say, Tom Brady, violate Tom Brady. I'm told the answer is Tom Brady. Every decision I've made is in the best interest of Tom Brady.
In the end, it's former Vice President Al Gore who buys the Vikings in a last-minute deal. Gore decides to purchase the Vikings because, quote, once global warming really takes over, Minnesota will be like Hawaii without all those pesky Hawaiians. Gore actually changes the name of the team to the I-Kings in honor of his lucrative position on Apple's board of directors. The I-Kings institute many new, quote, green initiatives, like a geothermally heated landing strip for Gore's private plane and biorenewable massage lotions. New I-Kings director of football operations, James Carville, a New Orleans native, brings in fellow New Orleanian and former washed-up Vikings quarterback Archie Manning as a special consultant. Archie tries to convince his son Peyton to request a trade to the I-Kings, but Peyton feels it would be redundant to go to a franchise known for bringing in aging quarterbacks who choke in big games. Archie does, however, convince the Giants to trade Eli Manning to the I-Kings. In his second season, Manning leads the wild card team to a surprising Super Bowl appearance against fellow 2004 draftee Phillip Rivers. However, in the final play of the Super Bowl, Manning is intercepted in the end zone, and the I-Kings lose yet another Super Bowl. When asked why he failed to score on the final drive, Manning can only say, I guess it's just a lot easier to win Super Bowls against the New England Patriots defense. Makes sense. You know.
Tom Brady.
The I-Kings then replace Eli Manning with Ben Roethlisberger. Roethlisberger only plays 1 year with little success, and as he's leaving Winter Park for the last time, he says, man, I thought I was a dirtbag, but the guys in that locker room make me look like only a slight dirtbag. Roethlisberger then goes immediately to the nearest strip club, has 20 beers, and drives himself home. Vikings continue struggling to find quarterbacks over the coming years. Finally, in 2021, they bring in Aaron Rodgers.
I'm kind of over that move.
So are we.
What?
It's a little, soft.
Unfortunately, on the eve of Rodgers' first start, he elopes with Ryan Braun and disappears forever. Finally, in 2023, football and all other sports are outlawed in America. Current President Sean Penn says, we will all root for the same team now. When CNN reporter Dustin Diamond asks Penn which team he is referring to, Penn punches Diamond in the face. Vice President Alec Baldwin then kicks Diamond multiple times in the head while screaming, I hate you people. Finally, in that pivotal year when professional sports are outlawed, Brad Childress and Denny Green actually go into acting. They team up for a remake of See No Evil, Hear No Evil.
You mean I'm not white?
This was an old Richard Pryor, Gene Wilder movie from 1989. Childress plays the role of the deaf man. And that's no stretch for Childress, because he's used to saying, what? I don't understand, when asked very simple questions. And Danny Green plays the role of the blind man, which is also not a stretch, because he coached the 98 and 2000 NFC Championship games as if he was blind. The film flops at the box office and is nominated for Worst Picture by the Razzies. But it loses out in a close vote to Michael Moore's latest pseudo-documentary, Bowling for Calamari. Odd thing is, it's called Bowling for Calamari, but it's just a video of Michael Moore eating calamari nonstop. I don't know where the bowling is. Oh, he is eating all this calamari out of a giant bowl. So it's like wordplay. It's kind of like a pun. that's what's in store for the Vikings. I know it's not what Vikings fans want to hear. It's probably not what any football fan wants to hear, that football is going away. But, you know, you'll still have Michael Moore eating calamari.